Howdy folks, Matt here at the Gulfport Underground, and today I want to share with you an E-90 workout. Excuse me. An E-90 workout means every 90 seconds you perform a lift or an exercise. Similar to an EMOM, only instead of every minute on the minute, it's every 90 seconds. So that's the structure. And again, an every minute, an EMOM or an E-90 workout in this case, you can use them for a lot of different reasons. You just have to be aware of what your intention is and then program things into that template accordingly. So today, I want to work with barbells. I want to work on front squats for a vertical leg dominant exercise, and I want to work on pendlay rows. Bent over rows for some pulling action. I'm complementing the bent over rows with front squats. That way I've got one exercise where I'm hinged over and one exercise where I'm vertical. I don't want to couple bent over rows with back squats or deadlifts today anyway, because I don't want to tax my lower back that much. So vertical and a horizontal exercise complement each other well. And in this case, it allows me to get what I want out of this, which is one, form and technique practice. I'm not going particularly heavy on either of these. I'm actually going to be trying to make the weight I'm working with feel heavier and more effective than it has to. So form and technique because the weight is not that heavy for me. Hypertrophy because I'm going to be adhering to a tempo to the best of my ability for each of these exercises that's conducive for building muscle. And remember, when it comes to building muscle, it's about time under tension. Yes, you have to have a load. Yes, you need progressive overload and you need to lift heavier and heavier most of the time, but it's not about doing the heaviest sets possible. You'll see here I've got 135 set up on my front rack squat and the same thing, 135 set up on my bent rows. Now, 135 is a weight that I could do, if I had to do 20 reps, if I had to do 30 reps, I probably could. But that's not the point today. It's to get good, clean practice in and to milk every rep for what I can for the purpose of time under tension and hypertrophy, building muscle. I just realized that since I'm on selfie mode, this board, it's going to look backwards for you, isn't that right? All right, well, I'm going to keep this video rolling. I'm going to keep it on selfie mode. Maybe you can decode this with your left and right hemispheres. So, I've got a 12 E-90 5 workout. The 12 is how many rounds. Usually that'd be how many minutes, but this is an E-90 workout. So for 12 rounds, every 90 seconds, I'm going to execute 5 reps. That's the volume, 5 reps of one exercise or the other. So I'll end up getting 6 rounds of each. 6 sets of 5. 30 of the hardest reps that I can, the most productive reps I can with the weight I'm working with. Very sub-maximal weight for a set of 5. Again, put your ego aside. This is not about lifting heavy today. These weights are going to feel extremely heavy if I perform this right, but ultimately the weight on the bar is such that I'm able to do other things with it. And I'm going to be adhering to a tempo as much as I can on the front squats, a tempo of 4-2-x-0, which means I lower down the eccentric phase for 4 seconds. I pause at the bottom for 2 seconds. I come up on the concentric phase as explosively as possible, and I don't stop at all at the top. I might stop for a quick breath, but it's really I want to drop right back into the descent. 4 seconds down, 2 seconds in the hole, explosive up, no time at the top. So all in all, that should take about 7 or 8 seconds per rep. 7 or 8 seconds times 5 puts me into that 40-second range, which is good for hypertrophy. You hit about 40 seconds under tension, and you're getting a good hypertrophic effect if the intensity is there and the mind-muscle connection is there. That goes for most exercises. On the bent rows at 135, I'm doing a 2-2-3-0 tempo. That means I'm going to raise the bar, because with a bent row you start with your arms extended, the bar is hanging down. I'm going to raise the bar on the concentric phase for 2 seconds up. I'm going to hold it at the top, squeezing, making it a pause rep for 2 seconds, which will be tough for me with 135. Lowering down on the eccentric phase for 3 seconds, then no rest at the bottom. I've got no rest at the bottom of the row and no rest at the top of the front squat. Then you disengage your muscles. We don't want that. So no rest. That way we can keep the time under tension and accumulate the tension we're going for. So this is a 12-round workout. Every 90 seconds I perform an exercise, which means it should last about 18 minutes, right? That's kind of like 12 times a minute and a half. Should be roughly 18 minutes. And I will keep you filled in on how this feels along the way. This is the type of workout that takes a lot of discipline, because I can lift heavier, I can lift faster, I can lift more frequently, but I'm juggling here between getting good quality practice in, perfect reps, and also making less weight more effective, as hard as possible. Which it takes a lot of setting your ego aside and knowing that you can get more out of less. All right, I'm going to start with front squats. My tempo, 4, 2, explosive, 0. Here we go. All right, so that took me about 35 seconds. I would like that to last me a little bit longer. So maybe I wasn't doing a true 4 seconds down. Now, this is exactly the reason why I'm doing an E-90 workout every 90 seconds instead of every minute. If I want to be under a heavy load, heavy-ish load, for 40 seconds, I can't go busting out another barbell lift 20 seconds later doing an EMOM. I need it to be every 90 seconds, and even that's kind of a stretch. It's pretty dense to do big compound barbell lifts for 40 seconds at a time every 90 seconds. It's going to be really hard. I'm up for the challenge today. Here we go. Boy, I'm really trying to adhere to the tempo, and that was pretty hard, but it only lasted me about 35 seconds. We'll see if I can, so that goes to show. If I was going heavier, it'd be even harder. I might be deviating even more from the game plan. So I'm going to try to make both of these sets last a little longer. Got 30 seconds. About 35 seconds again. I think that's gonna be the best I can do. I don't wanna move down in weight. Maybe I'm not setting my ego aside enough, but I wanna stick with 135 today on both lifts. I can tell you right now, adhering to that tempo or trying to, this 135 on both of these is harder than doing a normal set of 5 reps with 185 or 205. I love that. When less is more, then it's a good thing. Less taxing on your nervous system, and you're gonna end up building more muscle. Let's see if I can make this last. It's about 35 seconds again. That's the best I'm gonna be able to do. If I could make it last 40 seconds, that would actually be right on the money, which 5 seconds does make a big difference in this scenario, but I'm gonna do the best I can. As always, your recovery breaths are your best friend, especially in a very strict, time-oriented structure like this. That slow negative and that pause make it very challenging to be explosive out of the hole. But I appreciate that challenge of igniting and engaging fast twitch muscle fibers when I'm at a big disadvantage like that. These bent rows are very hard. The grip is hard to hang on for that long. It's tough for my lower back to maintain proper position for that long as well. But every challenge is a good challenge. It's a weakness that we're trying to strengthen. That's the point of training, strengthen your weaknesses. If that's what's giving me problems, so be it. The grip was completely slipping there because of the sweatiness. I'm going to bust out the chalk. It'll help a little bit. Just a little chalk. You don't need a lot. Just a little layer. It might look like a lot, but it's not a lot. This is the 7th round. 7th out of 12. I'm exactly halfway done. This already feels extremely hard on every level. Hard to execute, hard to recover from, hard to keep focus. I love it. So I had to remind myself not to stop at the top. Controlling a load and having the ability to move at the tempo you want makes any exercise at any intensity exponentially harder than it would be otherwise. If I was doing an E-90 workout, just busting out 5 front squats, normal tempo, 5 rows, it would feel like I was over recovered for the weight I'm working with on each set. If that was the case, I'd have to bump this weight up a lot. But I don't want to, because I don't want to tax my nervous system too much today. Strength training is nervous system training. You gotta pick and choose your battles and know where to invest your energy, money. Alright, we go. We're going to take it from the ground now. Oh, that only lasted about 32 seconds, but I'm doing the best I can. Gus is deciding to spot me from up close and personal. He's good at that. And I try not to move him unless I have to. If this was a heavy set, I might move him, but I'll be all right. I got 15 seconds. I want to get you so you can see these pause reps from a different angle, hopefully. All right, 7 seconds. Oh my Lord. It's not easy at all. That was my 13th set, 13th round of 16. I'm in the 4th quarter now. The end's in sight. Got 35 seconds to rest. Getting the most out of every breath is really my saving grace here. Take you over here with me again. Oh, this is how it should feel. And it's wonderful that what is technically a light weight for me is this hard. I appreciate that very much. Oh, Also, you see I'm switching to a supinated grip, underhand grip, to help the grip out a little bit. Sorry to put my butt in your face. I like to switch which way I'm lifting on these. There you can see the tempo. Ah. Oh. I'm just trying to get through that now. That only took about 30 seconds. That's all I got. So, as you can see, going heavier would have been a terrible idea. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. We're always doing what we ought to do, not what we want to do. Remember, if you're doing what you should do, what you ought to do, that drives progress. And it ends up being what you want to do, because that's what we want, making progress. That's what makes it fun. I don't need that. Last set of front squats. I'm going to try to recommit to the tempo now. Give it an honest 4 seconds down. One more set to go. I accidentally hit my watch when I was lifting, but I'm gonna be real with it. Only give myself 45 seconds. Last set of the day. Last set of this 12 round, 18-ish minute workout. E-90 workouts. Although you're resting 50% longer than an EMOM, does not mean it's easier. It's actually, in this case, much harder than most of the EMOMs I do, because I've got that 90-second time frame for a reason. I'm gonna chalk up. These bent rows are even harder than the front squats. Alright, here goes nothing. Try to adhere to the tempo as best as I can. Also, I'm going to go with a hook grip. Smash my thumbs. So you see the tempo. 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 0. 2, 1, 2, 1. Took everything to get that done, and to keep myself safe and my technique strong. There you have it. It's an E-90 workout. It's, in a sense, like an EMOM on steroids, because there's a reason why it's every 90 seconds instead of every minute, because you want every last breath and every last second to recover, because the exercises you're doing and how you're doing them require more recovery period. So, great for burning some fat, building muscle, primary intention, keeping your workout training economy as high as possible in this scenario. So, check you out later. Give something like that a go. Every 90. Should be more strength-based exercises those are the exercises that warrant having more recovery period. Squats, deadlifts, front squats, back squats, overhead presses, hang cleans, push presses, bent rows, big basic variations. Give it a go. Ask me questions. See ya.